So we're going to write, excuse me, wrong class. We're going to go over your quiz that you took on Thursday. So those of you in class, the sub should have passed back a copy of your quizzes. Those of you online, you should be able to go back to the link from last week and look up your quiz and see what you answered so that you can make corrections. If you wrote them down, that so you know what your questions were, that's great too. Okay, we're gonna go through this. You have a test tomorrow. That is Tuesday, November 10th. Okay, and I'm away at a training today. Otherwise, I would be there personally to go over this with you, but you know, we're going to do this through a YouTube video. All right. So number one, which linear equation in two variables does not have a slope of -2/5 and go through the point to 26? Okay. So you need to be able to go through each of these. A quick way to do this, 3 of them you could put into your calculator, but we're just going to go through using the point slope formula. And because I write big and there's not a lot of room on the test for me to write, I'm going to be bringing in my whiteboard. I'm going to bring it over here. Let me make it a little bit smaller so that, you know, I can do the work next to a problem, and I'll just switch it back and forth. Okay, so for number one, we have a slope of -2/5, and it goes through the point of 26. Okay. Well, our point slope formula is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So when I go plug things in, 20 is my x1, 6 is my y1. So y minus 6 equals -2/5 x minus 20. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and distribute my -2/5. So y minus 6 equals -2/5 x. Negative times negative is going to give us a positive. 20 divided by 5 is 4, and 4 times 2. Okay, that's what I just did. 20. Let's see, we have 2 times. Essentially, this is what we've got. Remember, multiplying fractions. So this becomes a 4. This becomes a 1. 2 times 4, we're going to get 8. Okay, so plus 8. Then I need to move my 6 across. Okay, so y equals -2/5 x plus 14. All right, so this tells me that A is an equation that goes through that point, because if you look at our first step here, this one was option A. Our final point slope is option B. So A and B are both equations that go through that point. But C is not. C has a different y-intercept. Okay. If I continue on with what I'm doing here and change this into standard form, if I move my 2/5 x, I'm going to add it. Plus 2/5 x plus y equals 14. And then I'll multiply everything by 5 to get rid of that fraction. I have 10x plus, excuse me, not 10x. I have 2x plus 5y equals 70. and that is option D. So if we come back over here to our answer choices, C is the one that does not have a slope of -2/5 and go through that point. Okay. All right, so for number 2, which linear equation, 2 variables, has a graph that passes through the points 2, 9 and 10, -7. Okay. So for number 2, first thing we have to do is find the slope. So I'm gonna write my points down. And this way, because then that essentially makes them a table. Okay. So my change in y from 9 to -7, it goes down 16. Sorry. I had a brain fart for a moment. All right. 2 to 10 goes up 8. So -16 over 8 is -2. Okay. There's our slope. It does not matter which point we put into our point slope formula. I'm going to use the 2 and the 9 just because then I don't have to worry about minus and negatives. Okay. So y minus 9 equals -2 times x minus 2. Okay. When I distribute this -2, I get -2x plus 4. I'm going to add 9 to both sides. Okay. Y equals -2x plus 13. This is option A over here on our answer choices. Okay. All right. For number 3, we'll come back to 5 in just a minute, but for number 3, the linear equation that has a graph that passes through the points 5, -3, and 7, 4. Okay. Yes, I during the quiz, I told you there was a typo. The point on the printed quiz said 7-11, and I did have to go in and change it on the online test quiz as well. It should have been 7-4, and I did make that announcement while you were taking the quiz. So, but I fixed it here, and I will double check to make sure I don't have typos on your test. I promise. 5, -3, and 7, 4. Okay. Again, we need to find that slope. So I'm making myself a little table. So we went up 7 on our y. For our x, we went up 2. Okay, so our slope is 7 over 2. And then we're going to put it in a point slope form. I'm going to use 7, 4, just because then I don't have to worry about negatives. Okay, so y minus 4. Okay, this is my x1, y1. Y minus 4 equals 7/2 times x minus 7. Okay. You notice that knocks out D, because D, the 4 and the 7 are switched. Okay, so it's not going to be D. All right. So then we're going to do, and I'll mark it out here and bring the whiteboard back. Here we go. So I'm going to distribute my 7. Y minus 4 equals 7/2 x minus 49 over 2. Okay, that does not simplify nicely. What it does, but it's still going to be a fraction. That's as simplified as it gets. It does not divide nicely, is what I meant. Okay. So then we're going to add 4. The equivalent fraction on this end when I add 4 is going to be 8 over 2. Because if I do 8 divided by 2, I'm going to get 4. Okay. That way I can just add my fractions here. So y equals 7/2 x minus 41/2. Okay. That is option B right here. Okay. So that's answer choice B. And we can go look at number 4. So number 4, what is the equation of the line that has a slope of 4/5 and passes through the point -10, 8? Once again, we're going to use our point slope. Okay. So for number 4, our slope is 4/5. And our point is at -10, 8. So our x1 and our y1. Y minus 8 equals 4/5 times x minus -10. Minus a negative becomes a plus. Y minus 8 equals 4/5 x plus 10. We need to distribute this 4/5. Y minus 8 equals 4/5 x. And 4/5 times 10. 10 divided by 5 is going to be 2, and that gets rid of the 5. So 4 times 2 is 8. And then I'm going to add 8 to both sides so that y equals 4/5 x plus 16, which is answer choice D. Okay. For the line for number 5, the line below passes through the points -6, 8, and 2, 4. Okay. Those points are right here. -6, 8, and 2, 4. Okay. Which of these equations best represents a line that is perpendicular to the line graph, or the line in the graph? So remember, perpendicular means I'm going to take my slope, I'm going to flip it, and change the sign. Okay? So whatever this original slope is, I'm going to flip it and change the sign. It turns out that the original slope is a negative, so when I flip it, my new slope is going to be positive. Okay? So it doesn't give me a point that the original slope goes through, or that the perpendicular line goes through, so I can't really calculate an equation that way. However, by knowing this part, by knowing this much that it's going to go from negative to positive, I could get rid of C and B. Okay. Now, when I do my rise over run, my rise from 4 to 8 is 4, or sorry, from 8 to 4, I'm sorry, we're going down. It is a negative slope. And from -6 to 2, it went 8. So -4 over 8 gives me a -1/2. When I take -1/2 and I flip it, I get a +2. So my answer choice is A. My correct answer choice is A. Okay. All right. Number 6. The value of the US dollar is directly proportional to the Fiji dollar and the currency exchange. Grace exchanged 125 US dollars for $263.50 Fiji dollars. If James exchanges 375 US dollars, how much will he get in Fiji dollars? All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to set it up as a proportion. Remember, it said that it was directly proportional. That's our direct variation. And we could go through the whole direct variation formula and find K, our constant of proportionality, or we could just set it up as a proportion. 263.5 equals $375. We're doing US over Fiji. Okay. So to get from 125 to 375, we had to multiply by 3. So we're going to do the same thing on the bottom here. And when we multiply 263.50 times 3, we get $790.50 in Fiji dollars. So 790.50. This is what went, what we have to put on there. On the Scantron, if you didn't put the 0 for the pennies, that's fine. It still counts it correct. Okay. All right. Number 7. Which equation below contains the coordinate -4, -6, and is parallel to the line at the right? Okay. Let me go ahead and put my -4, -6. And I did change all these. Remember, when you actually took the quiz, they were all pluses, and I told you that was a typo as well. They should all be minuses. So, all right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's the point it passes through. It has to be parallel to the other line. So this line goes up 1 and right 4. Okay. Remember, parallel means they have the same slope. Sorry. Oh, here we go. My tablet's having some issues now. All right. So same slope. It has to have that 1/4 slope. That gets rid of A and B. Okay. If I do 1/4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's my new y-intercept from this point to this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 0, -5. So now my slope is at 1/4. My y-intercept is at -5. D is my answer. Okay. All right. We only have 3 more questions to go over. All right. On number 8, the equation standard form for the linear function passing through 12, -3 with a slope of 4/9 is 4x minus 9y equals n. What is the value of n? Now, I will say when I was grading these, this was the one that was most often wrong. And I think, and a lot of you were trying to come at it from starting at the standard form it gave you and then trying to figure out n. Really, you needed to start with point slope formula and then get it down and get it down to slope intercept, and then change that into standard. Okay, so here's where we're going to start on that. Again, we're using our point slope form. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay, and x1, y1. All right, so y minus -3 equals 4/9 times x plus, excuse me, not plus, minus 12. Okay. This is going to end up being y plus 3 is 4/9 times x minus 12. We're going to distribute the 4/9. So y plus 3 equals 4/9 x minus 4/9 and times 12 does not really simplify out to a pretty whole number, okay? If you put it in your calculator, it's 4/9 times 12. You, using the alpha y equals feature, using the fraction feature, you got 27/3, okay? I need to add 3 to, or sorry, not add, subtract 3 for both sides. And when I change that into a fraction, that's going to be 9/3, okay? So y equals 4/9 x, and then negative 27 minus 9 is going to be a negative, what am I doing? Yes. Hold on, I made an error. I'm sorry. I am looking at the wrong place on my answer document. Okay, on my answer key, this was not 27/3, this was 16/3. This is 27/3 down here. I was looking at a line ahead. I apologize, guys. Okay, so now I need to move this 4/9 over. I'm going to subtract 4/9 x from both sides. So I get y equals, or sorry, 4/9 x plus y equals negative 27/3. I'm going to get rid of these fractions. I'm going to multiply the entire thing by my least common denominator, which is going to be the 9, okay? So that I end up with 4x plus 9y equals. Now, and we're multiplying by negative 9. So 4x minus 9y. You see, this is where we're at now. So once we multiply negative 9 times negative 27/3, that's going to be my n that we're looking for, okay? So negative times negative is going to give us a positive, okay? We know that much. 9 times 27/3. All right. 27 divided by 3 is 9. 3 becomes 1. So 9 times 9 is 81. That was the answer to this. Okay, 81. All right. So on your answer document, that's what you should have put. I had a few of you get it right. I had a lot of people miss that. They just weren't sure where to go with it. Okay. An industrial shelving unit can hold a maximum weight of 4,000 pounds. A warehouse worker is loading 80-pound boxes of product onto the shelving unit, and the total weight on the shelving unit is a function of the number of product boxes loaded on it. What is the greatest value in the domain for this function? This is a direct variation equation, but they've given you the K. Because the weight on the shelf, the total weight on the shelf is going to be 80 times the number of boxes, X, okay? Well, we know that it can hold a maximum of 4,000 pounds, or 4,000 weight. So if I divide that by 80, I get 50 as my X, okay? It can hold up to 50 boxes. That is the greatest value in the domain for this function, okay? And for number 10, which of the following equations represents a line that passes through the points -2, 25, and 4, -5, okay? So again, we need to be able to do point-slope form, and then get it into standard form and slope-intercept form, okay? So I need to find my slope first. So I'm going to do this. From 25 to -5, we went down 30. From -2 to 4, we went up 8. sorry, 6, I don't know where I got 8 from. So negative 30 divided by 6 gives me negative 5. Okay. So my slope is negative 5. Y equals, it looks like it used 10.5 on here, but that's not one of the points we were given. So we're going to have to do something with that here in just a minute. Okay. So Y, let's use the 4, negative 5. They're just smaller numbers. Either way, we're going to have a negative somewhere. So Y minus negative 5 equals negative 5 times X minus 4. Y plus 5 equals negative 5X minus or plus 20. I'm just going to go ahead and distribute that. And then when I subtract 5, I get Y equals negative 5X plus 15. Okay. Number 3 is close, but it doesn't have a negative on it. So because it's missing the negative right here, number 3 is not it. So I'm going to take out anything that has 3 on it. That leaves us with A or B. So let's finish, 1 is an option on both of them. So we know that 1 is correct. If I move my 5X across, 5X plus Y equals 15, that gives us number 1. All right, so for number 2, we need to check to see if that's going to give us the correct y-intercept equation or slope-intercept equation or standard equation. So I'm going to distribute this. That's going to give me y plus 10 equals negative 5x plus 25. And then when I subtract 10, I get y equals negative 5x plus 15. And that is the same as this one here, okay, as the slope-intercept form that we came up with here. They are both the same. So that one does check out. So C is our answer, okay? Guys, you have a test tomorrow. And I will have an assignment for you in Delta Math for you to do as a review. Just reviewing how to do some of these slope-intercept or point slope forms and writing equations in different forms. If you have any questions, message me in the Teams chat. Like I said, I'll be at a training today while you're on Monday the 9th while you're watching this in class. And but I will be available. I'll have my laptop with me. So if you have any questions, please, please, please message me and let me know. And I will get them answered to the best of my ability while I'm away. Okay. I will see y'all tomorrow. Have a great day, and we'll see you later. Bye.